Welcome to the ProLinks Realty podcast, where you'll learn all the secrets to success in real estate.
We are very pleased to have Lester Lin, co-founder of Liberty Land Abstract, with us today. Hi, Lester.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Lester. Thank you for being here with us. Can you share about yourself with us?
Yeah, I would love to. My name is Lester Lin. I am a co-founder of Liberty Land Abstract with my brother Carl Lin. We are immigrants of Taiwanese descent. So I think coming to America and being raised here has been a lot of difficulties on trying to understand where we fit in industries. So it's been really difficult for us to understand how to make it in a world where it's mainly very much American. So I think it's been really exciting. At the same time, just a lot of trials. When we first started the company in Liberty Land Abstract, we started in this building in Bayside, and there were so many people saying that we were not legit because we were not American. Oh. We looked Asian, and whenever we dealt with, let's say, Americanized attorneys, they would say, well, who are you? We don't speak Chinese. You have to speak English. And I'm like, of course we speak English. It's ridiculous.
Of course.
So I think even trying to do large deals when we were a smaller company, immediately people just did not respect us. Fortunately, around 20 years later, we are now the largest privately owned title company owned by minorities. Oh. So I think that's a huge celebration and and almost like a success that we were able to now show that we can do it. So it's been really exciting. And of course, we were only able to do this because of the support that we get from our community. That's a loaded question, Ching. So basically, my brother and I started this when I was still in college. And I was supposed to be a counselor. So I am now a counselor, but before, my first major was I wanted to be a counselor, and I wanted to focus on youths and how to work with their upbringing with trauma.
Okay.
But then we ended up doing real estate because my brother was in real estate and every Asian was talking about real estate. It was like something that you had to do. So then I was at Baruch. And Baruch was a great business school. So at that time, there was a recession around 2006, but that's when we started the company.
Okay.
And I remember when we started this company in 2006, it was such a wild idea because people were just going, well, companies are failing now because it's a recession. Why would you start a company? And I remember my brother and I were just thinking, well, actually, when things are low, we want to ride the waves when the waves come back up. And luckily at that time, a lot of our community members, specifically the Asians, were buying properties all cash.
Right.
And it was just nuts, So we actually started the company at such a great time. It was such a blessing that when people started purchasing, they were trusting us because we were already in the industry. They knew of us already. And also, we were very eager on wanting to help people. Helping immigrants buy property. Because that's always our parents' dream, that's our dream. That's the thing that we are taught, that when you're in America and you're in the States, you want to own property. So we finally were like, we get to help people do this. And it was great doing that. And that's how we started. We started with just a dream. Really, my brother was just really headstrong about this. He's very calm. I'm the more wild person. So yeah, if you can't tell already, but so I'm like, yeah, let's just try this. It's great, But after 15 years, it's been an amazing time. I got to go back to school for counseling. I got to start a coffee shop, and all these things are just really fun for me because it still gets to work with local people who wants to buy properties. So that's still been a really big part of my life.
Wow, that's great.
Thanks. I think you're great.
Oh, it's really good. It's amazing. So you went back to, I saw a lot of posting for Instagram.
Yeah, a lot of youth stuff. So that's been really fun.
So how did your company become one of the largest title company?
One, I gotta say it's a blessing. So it's not like we had it all planned out. But I have to say, there's a couple of things there is that we have an amazing community that supported us. So, we are nothing without our clients and our friends.
Right.
And they're the ones who really took a chance on us. And we're not perfect. There's no perfect company, no perfect real estate company, no perfect title company.
Right.
But what I feel like they enjoy about us is that we are relational, that we do care about the urgency of what they're looking for.
Right.
So I would say a big part of it is how our staff here cares about our clients. Specifically, we understand that our clients is multi-tier. It could be an attorney, it could be a loan officer, and it could be the buyers themselves, right? So all these different aspects of the real estate purchase part is we know they're all clients to us. So we have to be able to be there for them when they need it. We now have around like 80 staff members. We are nationwide. We have the most in-house attorneys.
Right.
We insure the most deals in New York State. So we are a home brand, which is great. In addition to that, I don't know if you know this, but I think it's important that people know when title companies grow, they should also be backed up by what we call underwriters.
Right.
And underwriters are nationwide underwriters. So it could be Fidelity, it could be Commonwealth, AmTrust, Westcor, Old Republic, Stewart. We have all of them. Very few title companies have that. And the reason why you look for that is because if there is a problem with your purchase, I can take your deal and switch it to another underwriter who might say, that's okay, I'll take that deal, I'll insure it. Not a big deal for me, but might be a big deal for the other guy. So because we have that lucrative accessibility to change the file to different underwriters, we are now able to make sure that your deal closes in the correct way. So that's really important for us to find out how to make sure that the buyers are secure. And by doing that, I think people just kept coming back to us over and over again. Luckily now we are nationwide, we're able to provide that as a service. So that is something that I feel like has been amazing for us and why we are so large. And again, it's been a blessing, yeah.
Right, thank you. Great to know. So I noticed on your social media, like Instagram, and you're very involved with the community and the youth. Can you tell us more about what you do?
Yeah, that's so funny that you saw that on the social media. I think, as I said before, because our families are minorities, I live in Elmhurst, which is one of the most diverse places in the world right now.
Yep.
And that means when families are brought up in immigrant cities, there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of abuse. There's a lot of neglect. Not because they want to, but that's because that's how the parents are raised back at home, and now they bring it to America. And then now their kids are speaking a different language or speaking English and not Chinese or Spanish or whatever it is, So there's a huge disconnect now. And what that does to a neighborhood is then the families no longer care about the neighborhood because there's so much happening at home. There's no way they can think about garbage on the street or graffitis on the wall or homeless people on the street. So that's a huge problem for us. A big part of that nonprofit is actually start off within my neighborhood.
Okay.
So I started that, and it was a lot to do with the different churches involved. And through that, we actually hired a lot of the students. So a lot of them were also my students here, and 15 to 20 years ago, I hired them when they were like 16.
Wow, that's amazing.
And they were really good kids. And I gotta say, Ching, it's so funny because now they're in their 30s and they run this company. There are 3 really strong women that runs this company and my life. So Maggie, Winnie, and Jennifer. Okay. We listen to them now. They grew up in Elmhurst. They know what's happening. They know how to be relational. They understand street smart. So they're not just intelligent, they're also street smart. And they're really, really good at understanding people, which is such a core value for us, to be able to value every person. So I think just having that as a core value for us really makes this company very different. Being able to work in the community and continuously find out who has almost like a gifting. Right. And then when you identify them, we're able to hire them into the company because we're like, wow, you have such an amazing story. You have such grit. why not work for a company that is very, with the world? We understand people. So all these people out there, they're very much, neighborhood oriented. We don't just hire random people. They are people that we're very much connected to. So that definitely has a whole ecosystem, So, just last week, we were working with a bunch of 16-year-olds painting the wall.
Yes.
With the city council member and the assembly member. And then from there, some of the kids were like, we would love to intern at the real estate company. And I'm like, I would love to have you there, Because they're relational. They know the hardships of family. They know the hardships of growing up as an immigrant. So a lot of this company is not just about the work. It's really about them, their story. That's what makes them, and that's what we want.
Right. Yeah, I could relate to that.
Yeah.
I came from a immigrant family too.
Really?
So, yeah.
I would love to know more.
We'll talk about next episode for that.
Tell us about you.
Next episode. So what's the title insurance company do?
Ching, that's so funny because I feel like a lot of people don't understand what our industry does. And that's why it's been so difficult for me as an owner of a title company to explain to a regular person on the streets. We are not home insurance, so we don't care about storms or hurricanes or earthquakes. That's not what we do. I get a lot of phone calls about that. What we do is we deal with judgments, liens, any kind of tax issues, anything that has to do with the actual lot. So for instance, if let's say when you buy a property, that property sits on a piece of land that other people have been on. And possibly they might have had a loan or they've taken out a mortgage. And if let's say they never paid it off and you didn't get title insurance, okay, you end up assuming that mortgage from the previous owner, which happens often when someone just goes, I don't think I want title insurance. Well, to my question, if you're spending close to $500,000 or close to $1 million, please spend another $2,000 on title or insurance.
Okay.
We are almost like the doctors. We present the problem of the property to your buyer's attorney, and then we have the seller's attorney, and we say, you need to clear these issues before you pass on the property to the buyers. So treat us as the doctors, right? When you want to know what's happening with your body, you go to the doctor exams, which we do, and then we tell you, you have ABC to deal with. You must make sure your cholesterol is down, exercise more, So we are a property doctor, so we make sure the land that you're sitting on has no issues, specifically liens, judgments, any tax abatements, surveys like encroachments. You don't want to all of a sudden find out that your neighbor owns 2 feet of your lot because someone did something wrong in the past. We will find those issues for you.
That's a great example.
Yeah, yes. Spend the $2,000,
Spend that $2,000, right?
Absolutely.
There's so many title insurance company out there. What differentiates you from the others?
Ching, I'm gonna get very passionate about this because this is what I think a lot of people do not understand. There are title companies that do not survive more than a couple of years.
Right.
What happens is, let's say you have your deal and you insure under ABC Abstract, ran by Auntie Jenny in the basement with her nephew. And all of a sudden one day that title company closes down.
Right.
What is going to happen to your deal that they insured? Well, what happens is now you're gonna have to find out who they insured it under, which is the underwriter, so I talked about earlier. So it could be Westcor, Fidelity, whoever it is. Now you have to go after them and say, hey, my file is somewhere with you because the agent that you had, the title company, is no longer around.
Right.
Now you have to get an attorney involved. You have to now go after a claim. These are issues that I see over and over again. Another thing is if you have a small title company that doesn't understand what they are doing, that also means that there's no in-house attorneys. There are no managers who knows how to record your documents. They don't know how to correctly file your deeds or your mortgages. There are no one here trying to figure out how to read a survey for your property. So all these things are important to find out within a title company how reliable they are when it comes to these small things that ensures you and protects you, the buyer. Liberty Hill Hand is as comparable to any large or in-state underwriters. We have so many staff here.
Right.
So if you have any problems, I basically do not need to go to an underwriter. I can figure it out here because they're all from different title companies. In fact, they're even from underwriters that we hire here. So your file, your clients, the buyers, the homeowner doesn't have to worry about, oh, is Liberty Land gonna be around for the next 2 years if something happens to my file? No, like we're not for that. You know, we've been around for more than 18 years, close to 20 years. We're not gonna go away. But because consumers do not know what title companies are, they let everyone else choose. So what that means is it can be a loan officer, a lawyer, and that's okay. Usually they can recommend, but it is the consumer's right to choose. Under RESPA Law 9, they're the ones who choose as a title company. So therefore, I think even podcasts like this, it's important that we tell consumers, you should do your research. Look at their website. See who's on their staff. Are there attorneys on board? Have they?
So how do our viewer find more information on title insurance, their resource and stuff like that?
You know, one, I would say a brokerage like yours or ProLinks, like you guys do so much training with the title companies that you're also well informed.
Right.
And I enjoy seeing when brokerages know what they're doing. You know, you don't just know the basics of representing a buyer or a listing. You also know things like title insurance because these are things that affects you. So I would say one thing is definitely go to a well-known brokerage like yourself. Two, our website has all these different types of videos you can watch in Spanish and Chinese and English. There are title bill producers for us. You know, so if you want to see how much our title bill is going to look like, go onto our website, punch in the number, press enter, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to pay. So many times, Shane, people don't know what they're paying for.
Right.
You know, so we're thinking, well, we have to be as accessible to the consumers as possible, the viewers. So we have a rate calculator that you can do on your own. Instead of going, oh, let me guess how much a title bill is going to be. No, that shouldn't be it. You know, we care about you, the consumer, the buyer, the viewers. So we want to give you all the resources we can. So another thing is the title bill. If you want to go onto our website, punch in the numbers, press enter, you'll see it. Another one is just call us. You can email us. We're very easily accessible. We're on social media. Our website is very, very user friendly. So if you want more information, please go ahead and go on there and you can just click on the buttons and everything is there, you know? So I think those things are very important and we would love to see how we can, you know, give more resources, but everything is there on the website as well.
Yeah, give them the name.
Yeah, I mean, the website is just llabstract.com. Again, when you go on there, you'll see all of our faces. We're not hiding anything. So again, when you go onto a title company's website and there's no faces, please run away, okay? Like look for a website that has information, they're personal. You will see our faces. You will see videos of us. You will see very accessible resources. Use that for yourself. Educate yourselves. Use it. It's for you.
Thank you, Lester, for your time today, sharing your insight with our audience today. Thank you.
Thank you.